Hi there, and welcome to this video interview with Vanessa. She's a massage therapist from Oregon, and I'm really excited to talk to her today. And she'll be sharing a lot of great information and tips and helpful stuff for other massage therapists. And yeah, let's get into it. Welcome, Vanessa. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. So yeah, tell us a bit about yourself and like who you are, a bit about your business, and how you got started.
Okay, so I am a massage therapist. I live in Eugene, Oregon. I've been doing massage for about 9 years, getting towards 9 years now. And I work quite a bit because I have a 14-year-old son who loves to buy Nerf guns and eat. So, just those two things. It's like, okay, that's like a half a week right there. So I've been pretty full time in my practice. And for about 3 years, I've been working on my own.
Yeah.
So that's where the real fun has started. So as of right now, I have a business. It's called South Hills Massage Collective, and we have 3 rooms. So there's 3 massage rooms there,
Yeah.
and about 5 of us all together. A couple of them are renting, and a couple of them are more working on commission, where we split the commission and I help them get clients.
Yeah, nice. So that's interesting. So for 6 years, you were working for other people as an employee, and then you made the transition.
Yeah, I guess 5. So I guess yeah, I guess I lost a year there somewhere, but yeah,
Oh,
so 5 years, just
quite a
about
sec.
5 years. I quit my job because I just wasn't making. I was working with a chiropractor and I just could not make enough money. I was tired, and I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it for myself.
Yeah. So I'm interested for you to tell me a bit about some of the challenges and marketing strategies and tactics. But first, you're a member of the Massage Therapist Success Academy that I run, and I want to just quickly touch on that. So you were working on your own. I mean, as your own business for 3 years. Obviously, something might not have been going how you want it with getting clients. And tell me about that situation you're in. And then you obviously saw one of my ads or something, and then tell us about
Oh,
that
it was a
process.
good ad. It was a good ad. So I actually was working on making Facebook ads because
Yeah.
when I brought these 2 therapists in, it was when one of my renters, I usually was renting rooms basically. So one of my renters left and I said, you know what? I think I should let's just see. Let's just see if I can get some clients for some people. We all have that fear. Like, what if I bring somebody to work for me? Am I going to? Well, I was convinced though that everything that I did, which was like a very, very rough, uncut version of what you teach in your academy, I did a lot of that kind of stuff, ads and posting in Facebook groups and emails and whatnot. I figured, well, that'll be great. And like, I'm sure all of my clients will go to see them too. So I'm just going to have, clients for them in no time. Let's just do it. So I send an email to my clients, $20 off for your first session with one of these 2 folks. And then I start a Google ad and a Facebook ad. And I'm just devastated to see that it's just not working quite as well as my stuff worked back in my day. And so I was just feeling challenged. I was like, well, why is it so much harder to market other people than it is to market myself? It's a completely different situation. And there's so many more challenges. So I knew that like I needed to start doing more social media. I needed to be more like present, like kind of get back up that presence because I hadn't even been taking new clients for a while. I was just so solid and so sitting in that place of like being fully booked already that I saw in it. You had said, I think that's how you usually start with folks, right? Here's a year of social media posts for $1, and then you get a 7-day trial to my academy. And so yeah, that was super helpful. I went in, saw the academy, loved everything. And I was like, oh, this is great. Didn't really read a lot. And I just like grabbed the month 1 ad and just threw it up in like my own way with a lot less of a discount. Cause it's hard. The discount's hard, right?
Yeah.
So it went all right. It wasn't terrible. I also did that with a picture of my male therapist. But it didn't go super, super well. So I was literally about to quit the academy. I sent the message to Bridget, is that your kind of just coordinator who talks with folks? And yeah, and she was like, well, I can help you with your ad. Are you sure? Let's just do a couple things. And I was like, well, all right. I was like, I don't want to do this discount. The discount is still, and I have never done the 40% discount still. But I was like, I guess I could give a little bit more at one. But it was hard for me in that moment to see like the future income. I was just seeing right now, I don't want to spend all this money. Like I'm spending all this money and I'm a single parent and I work really hard and I don't want to just be throwing money down the drain for these 2 therapists who one of them's going to be gone soon anyway. And one of them is gone, but that's all right. We got a new one. So, so yeah. I redid the ad and I did offer a bigger discount.
Mhm.
And I also just put up a picture of myself, like a super happy, bright, like picture of me. And it went so well. Like I could not stop getting messages. And that was just the $25 discount because that's what I could afford to give. I was basically almost barely paying myself back for the marketing fees. But then when we got another week in, I was like really starting to see a profit. And
Yeah.
this is like 2 weeks. This is just only 2 weeks of having these people brand new, like they're not super experienced therapists. Um, and just people just were booking with them both. I mean, I also had asked for some help in the group. The group's great, the Facebook group where you can kind of ask questions. I'd ask people, hey, like, what if you really can't afford to give this 40% discount? I know a lot of us find ourselves in that situation,
Yeah.
or we feel like we can't afford to, or whatever it is, right? It's just, so I just did it in the way that one of the other Academy members kind of mentioned, just say the $25 off.
Yeah.
It actually worked really well. I mean, there was enough of a
Yeah. You,
discount.
you don't have to do 40% off. I just use it as an example because I've tried everything. I've tried half price. I've tried 20% off, 30% off, 40% off. And yeah, I just find for me that works the best. And it- because we have 9 therapists, right? So we need
Yeah,
a lot of leads every week.
absolutely. I would do it. I will do it in the future for sure. Like
Yeah.
it's just gonna be a different time when I have more therapists that are available to
Yeah.
work and like I have just a little bit more capital.
Yeah.
Because I've already seen that like first really successful ad helped me to see, oh wait, this really works.
Yeah.
Like this is
Because you,
not just yeah.
yeah, because you can change. Like if you're a solo therapist, you don't need to do a big discount because
No.
you don't need 50, 60, 70, 80 leads. Like our ads bring in over 100 leads.
I got over 100 on that
Yeah,
ad.
wow, you got over 100.
Not kidding. That was crazy. And
Wow.
I've been around a while. I photograph well. Like I think people know my business a little bit. So I think it was just that push they needed to,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Wow.
So
I can't remember that because I forgot. I don't- remember when I saw your post, I was like, oh, you should. I'd seen you posting in the group a lot, like all your successes. So I thought I'd get you on a interview,
yeah,
but
it
I
was really
just
good.
I
As
couldn't
soon as I got
remember.
the advice.
Yeah, I couldn't remember it was 100. That's insane because that's not normal to get 100, but like it's pretty normal to get 20, 30,
Oh,
40.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
my most recent one, I got 27, and that was offering a 30% or $30 discount on a 90-minute massage. Because
Yeah.
right now, I only have one really part-time girl and a full-time-ish guy. So we're in a challenging time, and I know that.
Yeah.
And I want to kind of have him work a little bit harder to, help with the Facebook stuff and also to kind of give him a few folks at a time, just not give him all the people at once.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then it's working. It's $100. People will come in and pay that $100.
Yeah. That's good because you're
Feel
making
like
a profit off the bat. And you don't have to.
yeah, because I'm ready. I mean, today.
You can slow down your ad spend too. You don't. If people are watching this thinking I can't handle 30 or 100 clients, you don't. They don't all come at once. You can turn down your ad spend. You can just get a couple a week if you want, like 10 a week, 5 a week. Um, yeah, it doesn't all come at once, so people might get stressed out about that. But you can adjust the ad spend.
Yeah, and just try different things. I've tried so many versions of these two ads because I'm on month 2 now. So I got my second one. I love that one.
Yeah.
And it's so personal. Hi, I'm Vanessa. So I do have a little bit of a challenge right now because people keep trying to book with me
Yeah.
specifically. So I'm working with it a tiny bit to kind of help them understand, well, no, we're growing our team and you can't book with me, but
Yeah.
you can book with these other folks.
Yeah, what
So
we do is we just put the calendar up with all the people. I don't know what booking software you use, but
yeah.
ours allows us to put all openings on the one link, and people can just select where they want to go, and it just goes to whatever therapist.
Yeah, so I did that too. So this is one of the things I've actually learned from looking at some of the other Academy members, like business pages and websites.
Yeah,
And they have a lot of good ideas. And one of the ideas was, well, just put that promotion like as an option on your service menu.
yeah,
So it says like, 60-minute, 90-minute, whatever. But at the top, it says introductory offer,
yeah,
like 90-minute massage with Jacob Lausch. And then it has the other one. There's a 75-minute with the girl and a 90-minute with the girl, just different options. So they can click on those guys and they will. People are starting to book that a lot more
yeah, yeah. That's cool.
there.
Yeah, I like that. So
They want
also,
to,
oh, what was that? Sorry.
they can just choose who they want to see.
Yeah. Okay, and so you've already answered like how'd you come across me and the program. Um, Really quickly, what thoughts or concerns did you have before starting? And then I want to get into some of your biggest other tips and strategies for being successful because you were already full. Like, so I want to talk about those things.
Yeah.
But what thoughts or concerns did you have before starting the program and running the ads?
Well, I mean, we're all afraid of spending money. We're all afraid of losing money, you know, and in massage, you don't make a huge amount. So like for me, I'm running my house, I'm supporting my household. You know, I've got my 2 bedroom apartment, I've got my 3 room massage suite. That's a lot of bills to pay. So I think it's scary. You feel like you're gambling at first to just put this money up. And then I also thought, well, another probably common fear is like, well, I'm just going to get cheap clients that won't return.
Yeah.
And that's actually not true. I've had several of them return. Oops, sorry about that. It's probably a client right there. Nope, bye-bye. I'll put you guys away. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's a really common concern, like bargain hunters are going to come in through ads.
Mhm.
We had the same thing when we first started, when I first discovered these ads. We had I think 2 or 3 people working for us at first. We had a little 2 room clinic out of our gym instead of the 7 room one we have now. But we had 2 new people, so two inexperienced therapists and one experienced therapist. And the older, more experienced therapist had this negative attitude to for the leads, to the new clients coming in. And she had 20 years experience, but her rebooking rate was terrible because she would just say, "Oh, no, they're just here for the discount." Whereas the inexperienced therapist who didn't know the difference, she just was happy to have a job. She had like 6 months experience and she was rebooking at double the rate of the other one, which didn't make sense. It was just mindset.
Yeah, because like attitude and energy, like the clients can feel that. Like they can feel it if you don't like them. You know, it's like intention, right? Like that's one of the things I learned in school is like your cells are communicating with their cells. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just like, oh, I'm too good for this. Oh, and I still will give, if I have to give a discount, I'll do it. I don't like to do it, but I need to work. So.
Yeah, and you can do special offers with bonus things, like I say in the training,
Like,
but a lot of people don't like the bonuses. So you're excluding a lot of people who
but
don't want
everyone,
like hot stones. Yeah.
and
And even
like also, yeah, is it the worst thing if you get one person that gets a massage and they're so grateful because they couldn't really afford to get a massage otherwise? Like they're at least going to tell their friends,
yeah.
like they at least did something good, right?
Yeah, if you still give them all your effort and energy and treat them well, they could at least give you a great review.
Yeah, you're
You don't
doing
even
something.
you don't even
Yeah,
know how that's going to help you, but it's also going to help them because that's what you got into massage for, right? To help people. So
yeah.
it's massive. I always also talk about the story of Samantha in the group. You probably watched her videos, but she ran the same ad, big discount. She chose to do a larger discount because she was like really struggling and she just worked for herself. And she had a clinic, and then she rebooked, I think, 95% of the
Wow.
people that came in on the discount. And it's
Because
because
you
she,
need a massage too, because that's a factor. I mean, I have a huge rebooking rate too. I mean, I get people and then I get their husbands and that, all their brothers and their cousins. And it's
yeah,
just always working. So that's, yeah, I mean, that is a huge factor too. How your attitude, your energy, and how good are you at massage? I mean, that is a factor.
yeah. So you're telling me, right? If you're coming in for a discount and someone gave you the best massage of your life. And before the session, you got treated to like a cup of tea or water or whatever. And then you got your feet soaked. And then you got treated to the best massage of your life. And then you got given like hot towels afterwards and you got pampered that you wouldn't rebook. You know what I mean? Like it's how,
Oh, absolutely. That's how I found one of my favorite therapists, actually. I go to her house now. I'll drive all the way to the town over to see her.
yeah.
And she was giving 50% off to members of the gym. And she had an office in the gym that I went to. And I was like, oh, well, I love massages. Like, I'm sure it won't be that great, but we'll just try it out. And I was
Yeah.
like, oops, just kidding. I love her.
Yeah, so you took a 50% discount with someone else and you weren't a tire kicker. You took you took the rebook, right?
Oh, absolutely. I've rebooked
Yeah.
several times.
Because
So I'm,
she's great, right?
It's amazing.
Yeah. So all you need to do, if you are great and you treat someone great, that discount is just to get them in the door. Just show them how good you are.
People, because you need those people.
Yeah.
Like you do need the people. That is, I mean, we forget so easily that the customers are the reason that we're able to do this.
Yeah.
Like they're paying for us to be here.
Yeah. And I love seeing people say like, God, it's devaluing my time or whatever. And then I see other people comment and I say, well, 40% of 20 new clients is better than full price of zero new clients. You know what I mean?
Better to be working than not working.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then there's people going to rebook for full price anyway, like half of them at least. So the maths just stacks up to do a good offer, whether it's 40,
Yeah.
30, 20, half price, whatever. Like it's about getting them to come back. So
Yeah, and if that doesn't work, you might have to increase that offer because that was kind of my story in the beginning. I needed to change a few things, but once I changed those few things, like it's crazy. I've never had anything be that successful. I wish I would have found you guys when I first started my practice. That would have been much quicker.
yeah, it's cool to see some people who join the group. They've just finished their qualifications and they join, and I'm like, man, you've made such a good decision so early, you don't even realize. But anyway, and that's the other thing too, relating to discounts. I have that video in the academy, which I don't know if you've seen, but if you skipped ahead, but every premium brand offers discounts.
Mhm.
Like I've got examples of sales, screenshots of like Chanel having sales, Louis Vuitton having special offers. Um, I bought my Audi at uh, a special offer like after the financial year. Like every brand has sales, and because they work.
Yeah, it's a psychology thing. I mean, the more videos I watch in the academy, the more I'm convinced. So even though my commission, like I have a commission split with my folks that work under me, and my share is 40%. I already told them in the beginning that like I would cover, I mean, it's hard to keep a therapist. So I will cover whatever introductory discount I offer, like out of my, and it's like, hey, if I do just pretty much pay for that massage to happen, like, I mean, I'm not totally against it
Yeah,
because then it will come back and then I will be getting, $40, every hour and I won't be there. I
yeah,
won't even be there when
yeah.
I'm
That's
making
just
40 sitting here talking to you. It's like that's very, very
sorry. I should
rewarding.
put my phone on do not disturb. I just had it ring. I had it on silent, but it comes through the computer.
Sometimes, yeah, it'll
Yeah.
just
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, and that's what we do as well. So we pay therapists. So our first offer basically just covers the therapist's wage and the ad spend, and then we make money on the next visit. So we're okay with breaking even on that visit, the first visit, because we're playing the long game.
that's what I'm starting to see. I mean, I had this great week last month when I had the two kind of full-time folks and the great ad going, even with the discount, because I was a little stingy about the discount. I made over $2,700 in that one week. And I worked 3 days and then I was out of town, in a class, staying at a hotel thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm getting paid right now for like it was crazy. And I was like, now that I've experienced this, like I can understand why it's okay to wait a little bit for it.
Yeah, and because here's the thing, no one else is willing to do it in your area. Most people have that mindset of, "Well,
Yes.
I
Like
don't
I'm
want
worth
to.
everything. Like,
Yeah, I'm too
yeah.
good for a discount. I'm not gonna do an ad that says I'm discount. Otherwise, I look desperate." Um, but that's the same. Like we're the only place in our town that's done it, and we've grown up to over 200 appointments a week some weeks, and then other people are closing down
Mhm.
because they're not willing to do what's necessary to market. And that's unfortunate. But if you are willing and you have that mindset of long term business mindset, you will win. You'll stay in business. You'll get to help more people than everyone else. So
Absolutely.
anyway,
And that's what I was talking with one of my massage therapist friends the other day. I said, well, I seem to be lucky because there just isn't a lot of other folks, massage folks in town doing any like Facebook and Instagram like marketing. I mean,
yeah,
people have Google ads, like, and that's fine. It, works. But as I think it was Liam who was, when you had the interview with him, he was explaining it's a lot more expensive.
yeah, to do Google.
So
Yeah,
yeah, but it does help your Google grow. I mean, I'm now already back up at the top of the search results, so
Yeah.
That's really been helpful. Just in this 2 months. I mean, it's literally, so today's the 14th. So it's been a little over 2 months since those guys started working for me. And but I'm a very hard worker too, so I'm
Well,
on
tell
it
me,
every.
yeah, well, tell me about that. So you went and worked for yourself. So tell me about how that went the first few years. You built yourself up, and then you wanted to get therapists working for you. Tell me about that journey, and then how you did
So,
it. Like, what are the biggest strategies that allowed you to get full, like you said?
well, in some ways, I have to say, like, a little bit of it's luck because I'd never seen your stuff before, but I kind of knew, like, well, it's a good idea to offer an introductory discount. And so I posted in the classified ads, the Facebook classifieds, deep tissue massage, $65. And it was, a little easier, like, because I was just saying, hi, I'm Vanessa. I've been doing massage for 5 years. I'm very strong and skilled. And, I really introduced myself. And I think I only posted it in one group. And I had a couple of clients, from jobs that had kind of come to follow me. But that second week I was working for myself, I had a wait list. Like, I had so many people respond to that first because, like I say, like, people weren't really doing that on Facebook. A lot of the massage therapists are like, well, no way would I give a discount. And I'm definitely not going on Facebook. Like, there's just creeps there. It's just like nobody wants to do it. So I'm on there offering this massage for $65 and I was charging 85 an hour. And so there were so many people that responded to that.
Yeah.
And so I was pretty full for a while, thinking, man, I don't want to rent a room from somebody. I need to go get my own place, and I had a 6-month lease. So then I think after that, I stopped having a wait list. I then did a Facebook ad where I talked a lot about myself and how I love massage. And I didn't even put a picture of myself. I put a picture of a massage table. And I said, I'm going to offer this month for this whole month of June, because that was my second. Yeah, it was like April, May, June. So we're into June. And I said, for this entire month of June, I'm going to offer a 2-hour massage for the price of 90 minutes. So that's not even, so these people are coughing up over $100.
Yeah.
And they did it. I got so many people that time too. It was insane. My results were insane. And I was like, whoa, it's not difficult to
Yeah.
bring people in. If you're just willing to spend the money on the ad, like, take that initial risk. And also, we're going to be dealing with strangers from the internet. I think that's another thing that a lot of people are concerned about,
Yeah.
rightfully so. It's just, it's the public. We're working with the public.
How do you
Everyone.
mitigate? Do you have anything to mitigate that risk? Like, you ask for ID or anything, or no?
Well, no, I mean, generally, no. I sometimes, like, we will look the person up if they book with us, look them up on Facebook, try to get a face, figure out who they are a little bit. But generally, I don't screen my people really heavily just because I just need a lot of people.
So
But
obviously,
also,
like, once you're getting people, what's that? Sorry.
luckily, I've been very safe. Everybody's been very nice. I haven't had any scary, people.
Just want to take a second to ask you for a small favor. If you're finding this video helpful, if you could just tap the like button underneath it, I'd be really grateful. That will tell the YouTube algorithm to share this video with more massage therapists around the world. And hopefully that will help them all earn more income, which is what they deserve. Thanks for helping.
Great. So once you get people in, obviously you got a lot of people in, but you must be good at keeping them. So what are some of your biggest tips or strategies that you use to basically blow people away, like get them coming back?
Okay. So I wrote this down because one of the 3 strategies, and basically the 3 I'm going to say are friendliness, consistency, and follow up. Like, you need to be friendly. Like, don't, sorry if you were having a bad day, but, like, you need to really put on that customer service like you would if you were, I mean, a waitress, or, you're providing an experience, you're hosting an experience.
Mhm.
So, and particularly when you're working for yourself, like, you're the front desk, right? Too. So you just very friendly, very happy, over the top. Do you need water in the restroom? Like, can I get you anything? Like, as soon as they come in, you're going to say that they are being taken care of by you. And then also consistency. Like, I consistently will provide that same experience every day. When I wake up, I'll do something, make a social media post, send an email. And, like, the follow-up, that's my next one, the follow-up. I have actually, my online scheduling site will do it automatically for me. So they'll send, like, a thank you. And this is what I recommend. Like, thank you. Please maybe leave me a review if you had a good experience.
Mhm.
Also, hey, please come back 2 to 4 weeks. We recommend, to keep the progress we've made. And like also like thinking of that as an invitation. Like I'm not trying to sell them. I am inviting them to come back and have another excellent experience like the one they had. And they remember that. They remember that email that they got that's like caring about them, kind of going beyond. And then also I have a 3-week email where it's like, if they haven't been here in 3 weeks, we send them, hey, we noticed you haven't been in 3 weeks. Like we recommend every 2 to 4 weeks. So please consider booking an appointment today. You know, we appreciate being given the opportunity to work with you. So it's just that attitude of like friendliness and thankfulness, like, thank you, you know, and I every single email I say thank you. I send a lot of emails too. Like every time back before I brought in these new folks, like every time I had an opening, I would just send an email and it would be maybe an hour or less and it would be full. Like somebody canceled, like, oh guys, there's an opportunity. I'm inviting you.
Yeah, it
Because
works.
oh yeah, I think that's something I don't see enough too when people are marketing themselves. Like, this is an opportunity I'm offering you. You are invited. Like it's not like I'm just going to take your money and you're not getting anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's critical. And as you see the trainings in the academy, we do email every week. We give a little bit of value, and we might put up the gaps for the week, and we have an offer. So an invitation. So it's really that simple, and you can get little tips from everywhere. You just like give a little bit of value. You need to give them a reason to open your emails, but also it's keeping yourself top of mind in their inbox. Because just because they didn't rebook or they don't have an upcoming appointment doesn't mean they don't want a massage from you. It just means they might have been busy and canceled their last one or missed their last one. So that reminder, it's building a little bit of trust as well and credibility. If you give a little tip every week or a helpful article that you share, it doesn't even have to be your article, so
Yeah,
I,
there's so many emails in the academy that it's just amazing.
yeah, I think that's really smart of you doing that. And then when you do ask, right, when you do send like a reactivation text message out or a check-in, you've built up that trust over like weeks and weeks and weeks, and then they just haven't got around to it. And then you do a personalized check-in and like, yeah, like I do really need a massage. I've just been putting it off, and they'll book in. So yeah, so email, because I always say there's so many different ways to market and you shouldn't just rely on one. So email, social media ads, you have check-ins automated, that's great. Um, your service is obviously high. So what are do you have any specific other tips for giving a great service or friendliness or I
Yeah,
like
I
what you
mean,
said about
yeah,
that.
there really isn't a reason, like when we're working as our own boss, to not give that full time on the table. I think that's one of the reasons people like to go to like maybe like a solo therapist rather than like a center. I mean, there's a lot of people like that who would prefer to just go to a solo therapist and just be supporting that one person in their practice. And so I have never not given that full 60 minutes or not. And, sometimes I get carried away and go a little bit over, but it's just like, you are going to get your time with me. And I always give hot towels, just aromatherapy, just always make that a really good experience.
Yep. So you
And
add that in for free. Nice. Yep.
support the person on time, and even when they do stuff that's ridiculous, like miss their appointment, you just always just, hey, thank you, just always add a thank you in there and thankfulness and just treat them well. I mean, just really treating the people well, even if you might not feel like it. And that's when it comes into almost being sometimes a little bit of a performance, right, Kurt? It's like sometimes we feel like we're performers when we're, not that we're being totally fake, but we are, we're
My,
going
my
above
wife,
it.
my wife's huge on that. That's why we've got 500 5-star reviews, but she's sounds like she's got the same attitude as you. Like it's just you're in
Yeah,
the
I
people.
watched the second time last night. I was
What's
like, I
that?
love her. I
Yeah.
watched her video the second time last night.
Ah, yeah,
The, the, yeah, the interview was,
we're in the people business.
yeah, they
We're
want to
not.
be cared about. Even when you're doing the follow-ups. I love that about her, how she says, hey, when you're following up, because I've been doing a lot of that with all my hundreds of messages, right?
Yeah,
And it's hard to get one. I mean, it is. You have to keep going.
yeah,
But just remember you're doing something nice for them. You're
yeah.
saying,
You're not
hey,
hassling them.
like they already went as far as to send you a message. Like
Yeah,
they are interested. It's just, hey, let me know if you have any questions. Like I'm here. So yeah,
yeah,
there's a lot of
nice.
that. It's very true. And people really will go to someone that is sometimes just for their personality, even.
Yeah. Well, people like to feel good, so if you make them feel good, that's half of it. So,
I love you said about Starbucks, I cannot get that out of my head. How you were like, people pay so much money for Starbucks because of the way they make you feel. I was like, oh my God, that's so true. We all do it. Like there's one right up the hill from my office. And I'm like, well, I might just want to, go get a $9 chai tea latte.
Yeah, people are happy to spend money if they feel like it's worth it.
Yeah, it's so colorful there. Everything, there's just something about that environment. And if
Yeah.
I want to go study somewhere, oh, well, start, you just kind of like somehow in your brain, you're just like, well, I like that place. And
Yeah.
that's why I think it's really funny, because when I'm starting to get some of these ad responses on this latest ad, and I did another picture of me this time, and it's like they're literally saying, oh, it's like they kind of already know me a little bit. I think they've seen my ads around for long enough.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting. I'm like, oh, maybe I can kind of like, I'm hoping my brand can go that way too, to just be just friendly, happy, make people feel good.
I think so. I think if you keep doing what you're doing, you'll start to get a good reputation. I mean, you probably already have, but like it'll grow.
Yeah, I know that's the scary thing about inviting new people in though too. You're like, what are you gonna do for my just managing that stress of like, what have you done? And then they'll do it again. And you're like, oh, let's remember
Yeah,
to
it's a
not do that.
challenge when you got staff. So yeah, that's a good segue talking about staff. It's a good segue into talking about what are your biggest challenges you've overcome, come up against in the last few years?
Oh, so okay. So I actually, let's see, biggest challenges. So really, I think that just even finding LMTs, I've heard this before in some of the interviews, but even finding massage therapists that are, they have a license, they're willing to work, like they want to do this, it's tough. I mean, when I post an ad, I've posted my ad twice now looking for folks to come work here. And, it says 60% commission, that's pretty high pay, but still it's like, there's just this kind of like wandering traveler kind of thing going on with massage therapists. So it's hard to find them. And that's what I'm kind of working with as I transition. Like, I'm like, oh, I might want to, not have people rent and just keep having people, I could make a lot more money, but it's like, oh, am I going to be able to find enough stuff? I mean, I already lost one. Nothing was bad. She just didn't feel comfortable working by herself, because you have to be alone there. And that was only a month in, and she was fully booked too. People were coming back, so that was hard. So now I'm not exactly trying to replace her. Like, it's summer right now, it's a little slower anyway, and I kind of want to like spend some time with my son before he goes to high school. So working through that, just the balance of it, and like those kind of like, risk and reward things, like, oh, it's going to be a big risk to bring someone new in, but my newest person that I did bring in is just she's working 3 or 4 nights a week, just a little bit. But we do have a mutual connection. And she has been doing massage for 15 plus years, and is just like, hey, I just can't find clients. Like, so we already got her one person booked. So we're just finding people and figuring out how it's going to work. And then like, oh, should I bring in a third one? Probably not right now. Maybe let's wait till September.
Yeah.
And then also, the money spending fear, because it is a little expensive getting started. I was feeling pretty upset with how much money I was spending at first, until I had that $2,700 a week.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wait, okay, let's work for more of those. Let's have some more of those, and we'll, it'll balance out.
It's an investment. I tell people it's an investment. It is it going to make you money long term? Yes, it's an investment, not an expense. So
exactly. And when at tax time, it's great. You get to tell the IRS what you've spent.
Here's the other thing. It's like, if you have a machine that you could walk up to and you could put $100 in, you had to put $100 in, but it could bring you back $300 back within the next 2 months. Would you see that as a cost or an investment?
So this is my first ever, I've only done massage, most of my, adult life, but this is my first experience with investments and returns. So I was honestly terrified until I started to really see that return.
Yeah.
So we're very glad that it happened right away. And
yes.
I do have another major challenge though that I'm dealing with right now. Is just one of the folks that is there most of the time, he is a male therapist. So it's difficult. It's difficult with him. We have to discount him more heavily. I'm trying to work with him to have him help with some of the Facebook messages. And he's having a really hard time understanding that, hey, you have to just be so sensitive about the unfortunate fact that a lot of people don't feel safe booking with a therapist.
Yeah.
And that's, I've lost probably a few leads just kind of letting him make those mistakes and just aggressively trying to get them to book with him instead of say, hey, you need to ask. And if we lose them, if we don't have a spot for them, we don't have a spot for them. Just friendly, hey, yeah, we'll get back to you, you know, if we have a therapist available of your preference, because people do prefer females. And so, but honestly, even the way I see that, Kurt, is I see that as like, I'm just having to invest. I'm still, you know, it's not like I'm making nothing off of him, but I have to put a lot in. But he's retaining some folks. He's a newer therapist and he's actually retaining folks pretty well. So because he has a lot of freedom, he's got a lot of time. And also I'm just seeing it as like, well, let's look forward to next year when I'm not having to do all this and all the full price people are, and then he's going to stay because he kind of needs my help, you know? So it's actually, it's a challenge, but there's also that really bright side of that challenge there.
Yeah, it is a challenge with men.
It's a lot hard. I mean, I never knew how. I was like, wow, I didn't know it was this
Yeah.
difficult. I mean, I'll go to a male therapist. Like I don't, but I'm a massage therapist. I'm very comfortable with massage, you know. I like deep tissue. So
Men
that's
have,
what I keep to sell him with is like deep tissue.
yeah, because they have their male therapists get a different clientele that want sometimes, and not to say women can't do great deep
Yeah.
tissue, but a lot of people will want that firmer.
Yeah, and they have like bigger hands too, you know. So it's like even though my hands are great, like I have to like cover you with all my arms to even, you know, but it's like it's kind of nice when a dude will just put those big hands on you and just, you know, you're like, oh, I feel so engulfed, and you know.
Like it is a
So it's
challenge for men, but it's not something that can't be overcome. We have heaps and heaps of successful male therapists, both in my,
fun him about some of the stories, like the guy that goes to people's houses.
yeah,
He seems great. And he's going to people's houses.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right. It can be.
I mean, those, yeah, if you're a mobile male therapist, it's even more challenging, but everything can be made a success. I've seen success from men in every area. So it just takes longer, you know.
Exactly. And that's why when, you know, I had that kind of sad moment after my $2,700 week. And of course, the end of that week, the female therapist telling me she's going to be moving on. And
Yeah.
actually, to tell you the truth, Kurt, she didn't at first tell me she wanted to move on. At first, she said, can I not work on men?
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, I totally understand that. But you've seen 25 clients. They've all been referrals from me, and 20 of them have been men. So
Wow.
you're gonna, you know, so it's very just been interesting, this kind of, and then, you know, I just kind of let her sit with it. I said, let's stop people booking online with you right now. Let's, you know, and then, you know, a week or so later, she'd kind of decided she wanted to move on.
Yeah. Well, that's
And
another thing with having a team. And even though, like, for example, for every long-term therapist you have, you might have to hire three, and that's just the maths of it.
yeah,
So it's like you have to just understand that. This is what I say to my wife who does the hiring. It's like if you want one good therapist, you have to have five applications, and then even if you do everything right with that therapist, you have to expect two out of three of them are going to not be a good fit, even though you did everything right. So you really need to expect to have 15 applicants, you know, hire, and then someone can work out. So really, like, you just have to reset what you need as an input to get a good output of a high quality team member who wants to stay and is a good fit. So it's just
yeah,
resetting.
that's some of the fear that I'm sure a lot of us have too, right? Like, what if I work so hard and I just lose the person? But it's like, I didn't lose everything. I still have the clients. They're just seeing me now. And I'm like, oh, great. My schedule's even more full.
Yeah.
Like, I hope we can give them some of them to our evening, you know, female therapists, because it's just, that's just the reality we're sitting in. So, but I do look forward to trying to find another therapist in the fall once I get my son set up with high school. And I was kind of excited after she left to say, hey, I'm going to stay in the marketing class. I'm going to work really hard to get my male therapist clients. And then once I've done that, then I'm going to be like just super ready. Maybe I'll hire two in the fall if I have the room, depending on the renter situation, you know.
And
And
here's
then
the
at
other
that
thing.
point, and I might even tell those guys, hey, you're first, I might have to restructure the pay a little bit and say, hey, you're going to get paid such and such for your first massage with the client.
Yeah.
And then you'll get paid more, you know.
We
Then
tried that. Yeah, because I had that idea at first, but we changed to just full price.
yeah, I know, but see, you have to pay the therapist. I mean, that's the reality. Is like I kind of realized like it's competitive enough. I mean, there's chiropractors who can bill the insurance, and they can just fill the people's books.
Yeah. Here's the other thing too I wanted to mention. You know how you said that you had that therapist that didn't want to see males. You just also, this is another thing, over time, you'll just adapt your interview questions to
Yes.
to preempt all the problems that you're seeing. Are you willing to do this? Are you willing to do this? Are you willing to do this? And it's just like you'll just fix those problems over time.
Yes, you learn. So it was a big learning, and it was beautiful. This newer therapist of mine said to me, I can't afford to lose half of my potential clients. And I said, yeah, neither can I. We
Yeah.
understand, full respect to folks that need to do whatever they need to do to feel safe. But, you know, we are in the helping profession, and, you know, there's a lot to all that. So we just have to be open. And I said, actually, on my second ad, I said, must be experienced, must have experience working in as an LMT, be comfortable working independently, and be confident in your work.
Yeah,
So
nice.
I already have my three. So it's like everything that's happened in this 2 months. I mean, this is so much. So I
Yeah.
think that's another challenge I'll add to my list, is just like slowing down and remembering, like, I mean, a lot of us are parents, right? Like our kids go by so fast, you know, and that's why I'm doing things a little bit slower now. Letting my son participate a little bit. He loves it. He's like, okay, mom, are we going to be able to buy some Nerf guns? Like, he'll even tell me to be nicer to the LMT if I'm irritated by them. He's like, oh, wait, we need that passive income. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, thanks, son. Like he gets to kind of grow up in the business, but you know, it goes by so fast. So I'm also going through that, like in my personal life, realizing like I'm a full-time therapist. I love my clients. So I'm just very slowly building.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah. So but I'm up for the challenge with the male therapist. I kind of wanted a male therapist, honestly. Like I just thought it would balance out our crew a little bit, you know, just
Yeah. It's good to have that balance.
yeah.
I was going to ask you to wrap up. What's your future outcome look like? But I guess you've already mapped it out. You want to grow. Really quickly, what's for you? Like, what has the academy kind of given you with like a change, maybe in mindset about your future, and has it really adjusted or shaped what you think is possible for yourself, or just how has the academy changed that your future?
Oh my gosh, just everything. It just continuing to grow, like my income beyond what I can make, like just working doing massage. Because a lot of people have kind of said that. I mean, I'm only 37 years old, like I'm healthy, I'm strong, I can do my job, but a lot of people have just, you know, just with the kind of personality that I have, just encouraged me to grow in this way, because then I can make so much more than I can make on my own. And I could potentially step away a little bit, which right now I can't see myself doing, but I'm like, there are definitely days when I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't mind just doing maybe 2 or 3 days instead of 3 or 5, and doing a little bit of massage and kind of managing more, because it's really fun. I love the Canva, like playing in Canva, and you know.
What it could do is more, you might do 2 sessions in a day, but be in your business. I don't know if you have a reception area, but you can
Yeah,
sit.
we do. We do our own reception, but yeah, we have a little tiny little lobby.
You could do, like a couple sessions a day and be there and like doing the marketing and lead follow up and rebookings and stuff. But yeah, no, it's cool because that's going to improve your longevity in your career as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's another thing. I mean, it is a reality. Like it's hard to even survive to get to 8, 9 years, to be so incredibly skilled. Just like the newest one I hired, I was like, oh my gosh, that was one of the best massages of my life. But I was like, it's just hard to even make it that long in this career. And she's also just doing it part-time. Like it also works at the library full-time, you know, because even with that skill set, like it's hard to do massage full-time. So like this is actually a beautiful kind of like side hustle for me now. It's like having my, you know, workers and helping them start their practice, and they love it. Like the opportunity that I'm offering them, it's really more of a mix between employment and working for yourself. Like I'm kind of putting them out there to like, this is you being supported to start your practice. If you want to take your clients and go, you can go. But you know, so many of them, it's really interesting, the fear and the like they're not able to do the marketing and the customer service.
Yeah, some people just don't want to do their own thing, and that's great. You can provide them a great income and security, and you just got to find those people who want that and are happy to work for a great boss like you.
Yeah, because I even told, like, I don't know if I mentioned this part, but I was first looking to find a renter for my room, but I had already like bought all the furniture and furnished it, you know, and I couldn't find a renter. So I just kind of just wondering what would happen, put up the ad like as a job. And there were so many. And I only had my most recent ad up for one day, and then I had to shut it down because I was like, I'd rather take this person that I feel safe with, that I know, that has a lot of experience right now, work her in, and then we'll wait and maybe find another person later. Because that's just kind of where I am, like energy wise, because it's a lot of energy to do all of this.
Yeah, it is. All right, Vanessa. So really quickly to wrap up, what would be your recommendation to any therapist listening that have got this far who might be thinking about joining the academy?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's definitely worth it. And watch the videos.
Yeah.
Like,
And
just keep watching the videos because there's so much good information, and just read the instructions multiple times if you maybe didn't do something right. And then also, yeah, I think looking at other people's, like, you can go to people's Facebook as they're bopping around talking, look at their, the guy in Florida has some great stuff, Chris, that's doing the new business model. He's like looking at his, I think that might have been where I got the idea
yeah, yeah.
to the discounted massage on my service menu. So then all those people that are coming in from Google and coming in from wherever else, they're going to see that and say, "Oh, yeah, I want that."
Yeah, that's part of the power of these groups. Other people who are willing to pay for their education, these are like the top therapists.
Yeah,
You
from
know,
all over the world.
yeah, you can
It's
learn from all of them. And I've got interviews with so many of them in there, the best of the best, and everyone shares knowledge. And it's just like I always see, I've always joined groups throughout my career. And it's like what do you call it? Like, not security, but it's like a insurance. Like if I have any problem in business, I can ask my network of really smart, successful people now that because I've been in these groups. There's no like guessing anymore. I don't have to guess. If I need clients or this isn't working or having this problem, like I can just ask a question to all these people. Um, and yeah, I'm glad you're getting that benefit as well. But yes, I really appreciate your time, Vanessa. It's a Sunday where you are, so I don't want to hold up the rest of your evening. But I really appreciate your time and thanks for
sure.
sharing everything.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, have a good evening.
All right, you too. Thanks.